Hello beautiful people, welcome to my channel. My name is Mina Worthy. This video is it's going to be a voiceover, of course, and before I get into the topic of my discussion today, I want to make afang soup. And whilst I'm making the afang soup, tidying up, cleaning and getting myself ready for my soup, I thought I should have this conversation. So you would see me cooking and doing stuff, but I'm having a conversation with you guys. So please let me know in the comment section if you love this kind of video, because I remember the last time I did a video like this, it did receive a lot of love from people, and a few people did in fact suggested that I should do more videos like this. I'll try my best to do more videos like this. I want us to talk about the brain drain and the bleeding of the African continent. Every year we see thousands of Africa's brightest minds leave the continent. You have doctors, engineers, scientists, you have the creatives. They buy a one-way ticket, never to return, at least not anytime soon. And this is costing Africa, costing Nigeria, my country, its future. So what basically is brain drain? It is the mass immigration of highly skilled workers from their home countries to more developed nations. In Africa, it means we are losing almost all our trained doctors to hospitals in the UK, the US, Canada, Australia. We are losing our tech experts to the Silicon Valley. We are losing our professors and our researchers to European universities, and it's happening at a scale that's hard to ignore. And I understand the reasons behind this. I completely understand. But I just want us to sit back and really think about these things. Really think about our actions. Really think about the consequences that this has and will eventually have on our great continent, Africa. The reasons why all of this is happening isn't hard to understand, and it's not far-fetched. Many African countries face unemployment, political instability, corruption, and poor working conditions. In fact, there are no basic infrastructure for people. No good healthcare system, no security, no power, no electricity, no good road. I would also want to say no good schools. I'm not talking about the private owned institutions. I'm referring to the government owned institutions. We do not have those available anymore. And if you want to look at in terms of pay as well, you can imagine, just a qualified nurse might earn like $200 a month in Ghana, in Nigeria, or any other African country, while that same nurse with the same skills will earn up to £5,000 in the UK. And for many, migrating is not just about money. It's about the opportunities that are out there for them. It's about their dignity. It's about their safety and it is also about their future. Meanwhile, the West is happy to take in all of this talent without having paid to train them. And for these talents to even migrate from the continent of Africa to the West, they pay for it themselves. It's not free. The so-called COS that we are being given, it's not free. It comes at a cost. And I want to say that in the past, during the days of slavery, I apologize for taking us back to that dark era. People were being forced to leave the shores of their country, of the continent of Africa. They will be flogged, chained, and put on a ship and sent across to the West to build the West, to develop the West. But now, it's no longer the case. But our government back home in Africa is forcing us now to voluntarily go out of our way, sell our assets, sell the property we have, sell everything we have, leave everything we know, leave the familiar environment we know, leave the family we know behind, and pay our way to go into the Western world. To do what again? To do what our forefathers were doing when they were being forced as slaves to go to the Western world. And I don't blame the Western world, because they have offered Africa something that Africa cannot give itself. Maybe that sounds a bit harsh. Africa has refused to give itself these things because Africa as a continent is so blessed, diversely blessed, and richly blessed. You can think of it and name it, it's in Africa. Is it the human resources? Is it the natural resources that we have? Is it the talent, the skills? We have all of those things, but there is no proper management. Corruption is rife in our society, and we keep running away from the few that are so corrupt because we are not bold enough to face these people. Guys, this video, it's not about to discourage people who want to jump on the Japa trend. Far from it. I just want us to re-examine ourselves and think through our actions and see if we can make a way, if we can move forward. And so let's just continue in my narration. So what happens when all the experts we have in Africa leave? All the doctors, all the nurses, in short, all the healthcare practitioners, all the tech people, all our professors, our lecturers. What happens when they leave? And, as these people leave, Africa loses billions of dollars in lost productivity and investment. Our public health systems collapse without enough doctors and nurses. Our universities suffer from brain gaps and innovation. Our university moves offshore. It's like watering a tree and watching the fruit grow in someone else's garden. That's what's happening to us. There is a silver lining here. The Africans in the diaspora, according to records, they sent home over $50 billion in remittances each year. That's a lot of money. That's a lot. More than foreign aid. Some return after years abroad, bringing skills, experience, and capital. Others, they mentor from afar, they invest in startups, or they launch the Pan-African initiatives. So how do we stop this bleeding? How do we stop this bleeding? Our government needs to rise up to the occasion. They need to fix governance. They need to fund our educational sector. They need to support innovation. And they need to pay talent fairly. And this is now wishful thinking for me. The West needs to stop poaching health workers from vulnerable nations. And most importantly, we need to build a continent where staying is just as attractive as living. Africa doesn't lack talent. It never has. What Africa needs is opportunity, leadership, and systems that work. The brain drain is real, but the brain gain is still possible. The future depends on this. Guys, let me just stop you there and update you on this my afang soup. I have almost done with making of this afang soup. Just see me adding the spinach. I craved for this particular food, this soup. I really craved for it, and I was gonna make it and enjoy eating it, especially coming off from a bout of sickness. Anyway, guys, let's just continue in this narration. The question I want us to ask ourselves is, as we have all left and some are still leaving the shores of Africa, we are leaving a continent hopeless, empty, skillless to the West. We are building the West. Whilst we are all here building the West, who is building back home for us in Africa? And now I know that there are many of us that have the plan and the intention of retiring back home in Africa after we have spent our youth here in the West, developing and building the West. And what are we going back to? We are going back to an empty house. I would like to use the word house for the continent of Africa, because we leave the aged behind. We leave the corrupt behind. These are the ones that we have left our future in their hands. And then when we go back, what are we expecting to see? Dilapidated infrastructure, corruption enshrined and entrenched in our system, in the blood of those that are still surviving in the continent. It's all well and good that we come over, we do the necessary requirement, our due diligence. You get your indefinite leave to remain, you get your passport, your European passport, your American passport, and then you plan to settle and retire nicely back home in Africa after you've exhausted your youth, your skill, your talent, your knowledge, and everything you've got in developing the West. And then yes, we pack our bags and our baggages and we go back to the same continent we abandoned, the same continent we left when it needed us the most, the same continent that, because we were selfish, we choose to walk away than stay back to build. We choose to go and build another man's land than stay back to build our own land and expecting some form of miracle to happen, expecting God to come down from heaven to do the needful for us. Guys, I'm so tired. I'm actually recovering from an illness, and it was very scary. I'm taking this cook to give me energy, because I find that simple task I do, I get exhausted, I get tired easily. That's like, so you're walking, climbing up the stairs. As you can see in the video, I've been cooking and I'm really exhausted. That's why I decided to come sit down and rest and take this drink. Take care of your health, friends. Be intentional about your health. I know people will say or ask, why are you cooking when you're not 100%? I just can't stop doing that. You know, as a matter of fact, I'm craving for this particular dish. That's why I'm making it. Not that anybody has put me up to it, but I hope so far you're enjoying the video so far, and we'll continue in the video. You know what I hate about summer in this place? Flies come in, especially when you're cooking, or even when your window is open. They will just come in, you know, looking for what they can perch on, even if they find nothing, and it's really annoying and irritating. I can't wait to finish cooking and shut my windows. Thank you for all the massive love and support from every one of you. I appreciate you. Thank you so very much. Okay guys, back to our video, back to my narration. Another question I want us to ask ourselves is, as we have all left, who is staying back to build for us? And when we come back in our twilight years, what are we going to come back to? Are we going to come back to hospitals that have been built by the people we left, the corrupt system we left? Are we going to come back to good infrastructure? Because I know people can go back home in their twilight years because they have the passport. They will come back for health checkup. But even those health checkups that you come for, they are not cheap, are they? They are expensive. You pay for your ticket to come here and get yourself checked, and you pay to go back home. In fact, when you go back, you become more or less like a target, because the people we left behind do not have the same privilege that we had to make us live. And so they begin to see us as the enemy and not the corrupt government we have as the enemy. And I believe that is why when we go back, people go back, they become victims of armed robbery, they become victims of kidnap, they become victims of ritual killing and what have you. Because automatically you make yourself the enemy. They see you as the enemy that has gone and spent this X number of years abroad, and now you are back, and their lives have not been improved or bettered. It is something I want all of us to ponder about, including yours truly that is speaking to you. I am not exempting myself or my family, but let us hope and pray that it will not be too late for us to salvage what's left of the continent. Africa is in its dark era again, once again. This time by our own actions and our inactions, we've let our continent down. We've let our aged, our elderly, we've let them down. Because when we leave them behind. We rob our aged parents of the privilege, the excitement, and opportunity of being around their grandchildren. They only hop on the plane when the weather is good, when they can stand it to come and visit. And even when they do visit, they feel very lonely and they feel very isolated. These are some of the things that brain drain has cost us as a continent. Just before I bring this video to an end, I just want to remind us that Africa is not poor. Africa is rich in culture, rich in natural resources, rich in innovation, rich in skills, rich in talent. But because of the way the African government has been running the African continent, it looks as if we are the poorest amongst the nations of the world. But we export our brains outside of the continent to build the Western world. I don't know what you guys think, but please engage with me in the comment section. Let me know what your thoughts are, what you think of this brain drain of our continent, our beloved continent, Africa. I don't know if there is a way out. Will this brain drain stop? Will our African leaders, our African government, will they do the needful? Or are we going to continue to allow the influx or outflux of our youth, our skill force, our workforce is leaving the continent every day? And I hope and pray that we will find a way out of this. So friends, if you've enjoyed listening to my little rant, please let me know in the comment section. Our afang soup is ready, and I'm portioning the afang soup so that I can store them, freeze and store them, so and they can last as well, because afang soup in the summer really does not last. If you leave it in the fridge, it can go bad. Yeah, I want to thank every one of you that has watched this video till this very moment. My name is Mina Wodi. Let's continue this conversation in the comment section, and let me know if you want a part 2 or if you want us to make it like a series. I remain yours truly, Mina Wodi, and don't forget that I love you with the love of Christ. I pray for the restoration of our beloved continent, Africa. I pray that all the good things that has been bereft of Africa, the Lord will restore. There shall be a restoration for our beautiful continent, in Jesus' name. Amen. Ladies and gentlemen, my afang soup is ready. I shall be seeing you in my next video. Bye.
Our hearts beat